Hi, what's going on, y'all, man? Happy Hump Day. So we're going to talk about top returning players in 2025, according to Ari Wasserman, via On3 Sports. So at number one, he has Jeremiah Smith. Hard to really disagree with that one. Obviously, for what he means, how elite he is. Third down and long, game on the line, don't want to get the ball back to Notre Dame. He comes up with a big-time catch in single coverage, cooks his defender. Great. Comes up big and pretty much submits Ohio State championship this past year, right? So he's obviously one of the top returning players. Don't disagree. Caleb Downs as well. Another elite player. Could do a little bit of everything, man. They have him play all over, hybrid. He's going to be such a fun player to watch at the next level, right? Not just college, NFL. Like, what coordinator is going to get him and how much will he move around the field? Will he be kind of a Kyle Hamilton type? Now, obviously, Kyle Hamilton came from Atlanta, ended up playing, I believe it was at Marist, and we see how elite he is. I think Caleb Downs has that same type of upside. Not as big as Kyle Hamilton for his size, but has that same upside. He's an elite player. Now, a very underrated pick, and I know he's going to get some flack for this, but having DJ Lagway 3. I really do like it because I think Lagway has a lot of potential. Talked about him numerous times on the channel. I think with the talent they're bringing in at Florida, the returning talent, I think Lagway can really take a step forward this year, man. When you look at Vernell Brown coming in 2025 class, he's going to be one of those rare receivers we see end up playing early for the Gators. Not saying he's going to start, but he could be a receiver that plays early and often for Florida. So he's going to be one to watch, right? And then Ryan Williams, I love him at number 4. They got to just get quarterback situation right now. We talked about Ty Simpson on the channel, a few days ago. If he could be a top 15 quarterback, will Alabama be a contender? And I think a lot of people say that is because they know Ryan Williams is elite as well. He's in that same tier as a Jeremiah Smith. I wouldn't put Jeremiah Smith above him. I say they're neck and neck. That's 1A and 1B. You know what I'm saying? That's how elite they are. So when you evaluate it from that standpoint, you're really looking at 2 really elite players. Obviously, and at the 3 of the 4. Now, a player that really took a step forward that's underrated this year was Colin Simmons, right? Had a lot of sacks as a freshman, right? Ended up becoming Texas' best edge rusher, before it was said and done, the season was over. So he has a lot of upside as well. Can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do, being the guy. But now he's going to have to figure out, okay, hey, if I face double teams and I face more coverage from offenses in terms of preparation, how will I still be able to be effective? That's a big kind of question for him. Now, Dylan Stewart, another really good player, he's going to have a lot of expectations too, right? Because he just got an NIL bag, right? $1.5 to $2 million. So he's going to have to take a step forward. And you're not going to have Kyle Kennard next to you like how you had this year, gave you a lot of one-on-ones, right? You might face more double teams. How does he answer that? How does he respond to that? It's going to be interesting to see. Now, a player I think he's missing, instead of having Sam Leavitt at number 10, I'm going to go with Lenoris Sellers, right? All SEC pick. I think he got second team or third team this year. Elite player. I really think Lenoris can take that step forward. That's a player I think he's missing as far as his top 10 returning players for college football next year. I will put him in there instead of Sam Leavitt. Remember, Leavitt had a decent year, but let's not forget, Cam Scatterbo was balling all year long, right? Those fronts he was facing, it allowed a lot of more one-on-one coverage, right? Now, I don't know if Arizona's going to have that same type of back coming back as far as, outside of Scatterbo. Because Scatterbo's going to the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Who else will you have, in there coming back as well? I also think he's missing some Penn State players as well. When you look at a Katron Allen and you look at a Nick Singleton, I think they should also be on this list, in my humble opinion. I think they should be in there, obviously, over Leavitt. Even Jeremiah Love. I like Jeremiah Love. Now, he's banged up this year, had a really good season. I still would take the Penn State running backs, one of the 2 or both, kind of over Jeremiah Love. Even though Love is explosive, he's powerful, he runs hard, really elite player. But I still would take those 2 over him humbly. So I think those are some more names that's missing. I wouldn't say Drew Aller. Got to see first. You know what I'm saying? Got to see how he improves. What do they do with the receiving corps? Got a transfer portal guy in. Let's see what they do with the spring transfer portal window. That's going to tell me a lot on what I need to know. And I do like Arch Manning. I think 8 is the right spot because we don't necessarily know what he's going to give just yet. Right now, we've seen him, be put in that situation. We've seen him win some games, obviously, with Cornelius being out. You know what I'm saying? So much respect to him. But it wasn't against elite SEC competition or against elite opponents. So 8, to me, seems like a sweet spot. Just right for Arch Manning because we feel like the potential and everything's there. The buzz is there. Can he live up to it? That's the biggest thing with Arch Manning. So I like him at number 8. And then Peter Woods is a guy, like, you're still looking for that guy for Clemson to be explosive at the defensive line spot, right? When we look at guys from the past, right? We look at Christian Wilkins, right? An elite player, made it to the league. We haven't seen really since him an elite player on the defensive interior. I'm not talking about edge. I'm talking about defensive tackle. We have not seen that. So Peter Woods took a lot of steps forward this past year. I agree with him. I definitely think he's another player that's going to be one to watch moving forward. And he's going to be a top returning player to kind of keep an eye on as well. The only people I think he's missing is Haynes King. You know what I'm saying? Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, I would throw in there as well. I would take off Sam Leavitt and Lenore Sellers. There's a couple of names I would throw in there as well. I think that's top. And we can go see this year why there's some top returning players as well. So besides that, man, I give it a B+. I think he did really good with this list for the most part. I like how he ranked it. I like the edge rushers. I think he accounted for pretty much everybody. So I think he did a really good job. I give him a B+, but those are the only changes I would make to this list. But overall, a really good list. But y'all comment below, man, who y'all top returning players in 2025 for college football?